Sir, we're taking heavy fire.
Get down! Help me! Medic!
Machine guns, take cover!
I am hit! Stretcher bearer, over
The
here!
summer of 1916, a war that has already ravaged Europe for over 2 years. The Western Front is a blood-soaked graveyard, a maze of trenches, barbed wire, and mud. The conflict, the Great War, has transformed the landscape of civilization, drawing nations into a relentless cycle of slaughter. In the fields of northern France, the British and French forces are locked in a stalemate with the German Empire, whose entrenched positions stretch across miles of land, as fortified and stubborn as the men who defend them. Here, in the heart of the Somme River region, plans for an offensive are drawn. An attack to break the deadlock, to push through the German lines. The goal is simple: victory at any cost. It is the one-way mission, no turning back. No room for failure. For the British, the Somme represents more than just a battlefield. It is the chance to prove themselves against the might of the German war machine. The lives of tens of thousands of young men are about to be thrust into the heart of this industrialized nightmare. The guns of war have been silent for days now. The stage is set. As dawn breaks on July 1st, 1916, a whistle will blow. And with it, one of the bloodiest days in military history will begin. By 1916, the war has dragged on for 2 relentless years. Europe bleeds from every front. The Western Front, once green countryside, has turned into a scar of trenches, mud, and decay. At Verdun, French forces are barely holding the line. They are exhausted, shattered, and in desperate need of relief. The Somme offensive is not just another military plan. It is a rescue. The British Expeditionary Force, under General Douglas Haig, must strike to draw German divisions away from Verdun, to give France room to breathe. But beneath the noble purpose lies ambition, the chance for Britain to take the lead in the war, to deliver the decisive breakthrough everyone dreams of. We must win, and we must win now. That was Haig's conviction. The plan is straightforward, at least on paper. 7 days of continuous artillery bombardment. A storm of more than 1 million shells that will, supposedly, obliterate the German defenses. Then, infantry will simply walk across no man's land, unopposed, and occupy what remains. But the Germans are not broken. Beneath the earth, their bunkers are deep, reinforced with concrete and steel. They wait, listening to the endless roar above them, knowing the barrage will stop, and when it does, the real battle will begin. As the 7th day dawns, silence falls across the Somme. In the trenches, thousands of men grip their rifles, waiting for the signal. Whistles are raised to trembling lips, and when they blow, history will record the bloodiest dawn of the Great War. Dawn, July the 1st, 1916. The mist hangs low over the fields of northern France. The sun, pale and cold, rises over miles of broken earth, the Somme. For 7 days, the British guns have not stopped. Over 1 million shells have been fired. The earth has shaken, the air has screamed. Now, silence. Across the front, 14 British divisions, over 100,000 men, wait in their trenches. Helmets on, rifles ready. Their officers check their watches. 07:30. Whistles are raised. They climb, one by one. Men of the 34th Division, the 29th, the Newfoundland Regiment, the Manchester Pals, ordinary men, clerks, miners, postmen, students, rising from the mud into the dawn. Ahead of them, no man's land stretches wide. 400 yards of wire, shell holes, and death. They believe the bombardment has done its work. They believe the enemy is gone. They are wrong. Deep underground, German soldiers wait in bunkers of reinforced concrete. They have survived the week-long storm of fire. When the shelling stops, they know what it means. Their commander shouts, "Positions! Machine guns ready!" They climb to their firing posts, MG08 barrels already aligned with the British trenches. The gunners squint through the haze, and then they see it. Waves of men advancing, shoulder to shoulder. The first bursts tear through the still morning. Men fall like wheat before the scythe. Whole units vanish in seconds. One officer shouts, keep moving forward." But forward is death. At the village of Serre, an entire battalion is wiped out in 4 minutes. At Beaumont-Hamel, the Newfoundland Regiment loses 700 men out of 800 before reaching the first strand of wire. The machine guns never stop. Those who survive dive into shell craters for cover. Mud, blood, screams. The air thick with cordite and fear. A soldier whispers, "Where are the gaps? The wire? It's still there." Another replies, "They said it would be gone." The truth is simple. The artillery failed. The shells were too light, too scattered. The wire remains. The bunkers stand. The Germans live. By noon, the scale of disaster is beyond measure. The British have lost tens of thousands in a single morning. No ground gained, only slaughter. But along the southern sector, near Montauban, there is a glimmer. Small breakthroughs, where French artillery has been stronger, their shells better aimed. Here, progress is measured not in miles, but in feet. Still, the order from Hague is clear. Continue the offensive. Days turn into weeks. The Somme becomes a machine, a churning, grinding, killing machine. Trenches shift hands again and again. Villages, Mametz, Delville Wood, Guillemont, are captured, lost, recaptured. Each victory costs thousands of lives. Rain falls. The ground turns to sludge. Shell holes merge into ponds. Men drown in mud. Horses collapse from exhaustion. The stench of death hangs over everything. Letters home speak of hope. But the eyes of the soldiers tell the truth. There is none. A young German officer writes, "We no longer see men. We see shadows moving through the mist. When we fire, they fall. When we stop, more come." The British are brave, but their courage feeds the earth. Every day, the Germans fire until their barrels glow red. Every night, they repair, resupply, reinforce. The Somme is no longer a battle. It is endurance. The British learn. They adapt. New tactics emerge, creeping barrages, coordinated assaults, new divisions rotating to the front. But the cost remains unbearable. Haig believes the Germans are weakening. He believes one more push will break them. He prepares something new, a weapon never before used in war. September 15th, 1916, the day of the tanks. Morning mist, again, near the village of Flers-Courcelette. In the distance, a low rumble. Not artillery, something different. The ground shakes, not from explosions, but from engines. Out of the fog, they appear. Enormous, armored beasts crawling across the fields. Mark the Fern tanks, steel monsters of the new age. The British soldiers cheer as the machines advance. The Germans stare, stunned. "Was ist das?" they shout. What is that? Machine guns rattle against metal hulls, but do nothing. For the first time, men can cross no man's land under cover. Behind the tanks, infantry follow, cautious, determined. the advance gains ground. The villages of Flers and Courcelette fall. For a moment, hope returns. October, November. The Somme is drowning in rain. The once green fields are nothing but grey swamps and broken bones.
Just keep moving.
Men
Almost
march,
there.
fight, die, in places that barely have names anymore. Trench by trench, yard by yard, they advance, until there is nothing left to advance into. By the time winter comes, both sides are ghosts. The living and the dead share the same mud. For the British, the Somme is both horror and education. The price of learning modern war. For the Germans, it is a test of endurance and a warning.
Tell Mother I'm
No
fine.
fortress, no trench, no empire can withstand forever the weight of industrial destruction.
The rain hasn't stopped.
Tell Mother I'm fine. They say we've pushed them back a mile. The rain hasn't stopped for weeks. I dream of silence. The sun sets on November 18th, 1916. The battle is officially over. The front line has moved, barely 6 miles. Over 1 million men are dead, wounded, or missing. No cheers, no victory. Only the endless whisper of wind over the graves. From the air, the Somme looks like the surface of another planet. Cratered, lifeless,
For those who fought there,
scarred beyond
it was the
repair.
end of innocence.
For those who fought there, it was the end of innocence. For the world, it was proof that modern war has no glory. They called it the Big Push.
History calls it something
History
else.
calls it something else. The day hope drowned in mud. When the last gun fell silent, the Somme was nothing but ashes. 4.5 months of fighting. 1 million men dead, wounded, or missing. It was not victory. It was exhaustion. The villages were gone, reduced to rubble, mud, and bone. The survivors did not cheer. They stared at each other in silence, too tired even to speak. The ground beneath their boots had swallowed an entire generation. In London, General Douglas Haig declared the Somme campaign a vital step forward. He claimed that the German army had been worn down, that final victory was now in sight. But in truth, the front had moved only 6 miles. What Haig had gained was a wasteland where nothing living remained.
What Haig had
Across
gained
the lines,
was a
the Germans
wasteland
also understood.
nothing living
They had
remained.
won, but it was a hollow victory. Their finest divisions were shattered. Every soldier who returned home had aged 10 years in body and soul. The Somme did not destroy an army. It destroyed the illusion that war could ever be won by force alone. From the ashes of the Somme, the world entered a new age, the age of iron, steel, and machines. But beneath all that metal, if you listen closely, you can still hear it. The slow, eternal sigh of the souls who never came back. The Battle of the Somme was not just a clash of armies. It was the collision of an old world with the birth of a new one. A world of machines, metal, and total war. For the British and French, it was a lesson written in blood. Courage alone could not conquer artillery and steel. For the Germans, it was proof that even victory could destroy the victors. When the soldiers returned home, those who could, they carried more than wounds. They carried silence. The kind of silence that seeps into the soul and never leaves. The Somme changed the very language of war. It taught generals to fear their own plans and poets to fear their own words. It stripped away illusions of honor, of glory, of destiny, and left behind only the truth. That war consumes all and gives nothing in return. Today, the Somme lies quiet again. Grass covers the craters, the rivers flow, but beneath the soil of France, the dead still whisper, and their whisper says, never again. The Somme ended, but the echoes never did. It reshaped war, history, and the hearts of men. From its ashes rose a world forever changed, for another story of courage, tragedy, and survival. Stay with us in the next chapter of history.